It never crossed Alex's mind that a few minutes on a cold sidewalk late at night would turn his life upside down. He was on his way home after an exhausting day at work, walking along a nearly deserted street whose old lampposts flickered with every gust of wind. Suddenly, he heard a faint moaning sound. When he looked closer, he saw a homeless man shivering in the cold, staring at him with eyes that hid a mysterious story. Alex hesitated for a moment. His pockets were almost empty, yet that pleading look stirred his conscience. He took out what little money he had left and handed it to the homeless man, who gave him a strangely timeless smile and said in a raspy voice, "If you run aimlessly, you'll never truly arrive. But if you take each step toward the right destination, even slowly, you'll get there." While Alex was trying to grasp the depth of those words, he briefly turned to call someone over for help. When he looked back, there was no sign of the man, as though the sidewalk had swallowed him, or he had been nothing but a mirage. Alex stood there, staring into the emptiness, wondering whether it had all been real or just his imagination. The next morning, Alex woke up unable to shake off that cryptic statement. He returned to the same street, looking for any trace of the homeless man, but people nearby denied having seen anyone. A heavy feeling weighed on him. Perhaps this was no random event, and there was a hidden meaning behind the words he'd heard. He began to wonder if he himself was living too fast, chasing after something vague without knowing if he was even on the right track. Troubled by this thought, he went to the city archives, searching through files about anyone resembling the man he had met. He found repeated references to someone named Henry Burks, an accomplished scientist who had reportedly disappeared after throwing himself into an obsessive race to complete some great discovery that had slipped away in the passage of time. Rumor had it he ended up a drifter seen only rarely. Alex was stunned by the parallels to his own life. Both he and Henry had seemingly devoted themselves to running against the clock for a dream they might never have questioned. Back at work, Alex faced extreme pressure. His manager demanded a massive marketing plan on short notice. He had always taken pride in delivering tasks as fast as possible to secure promotions. But after that fateful encounter, he realized he might be running without direction. Should he keep rushing ahead or risk taking a slower, more deliberate path? Even if it disappointed his manager, his anxieties doubled when his close friend Daniel called, pleading for help to save his brother from overwhelming debt. Alex had saved a small part of his paycheck to launch a personal project he'd dreamed of for years. Now, he found himself torn between being cautious with his savings or postponing his plan to help someone dear to him. That haunting phrase echoed in his mind. If you run aimlessly, you'll never truly arrive. He wondered if clinging to his savings too tightly might be the very mistake that stripped him of his compassion. With time running out and the deadline looming, Alex decided to prepare his plan thoroughly, even if it seemed slow to his manager. In parallel, he gave Daniel the money he could spare, driven by an inner conviction that standing by those he cared about was more important than quick personal gain. He thought about Henry Burks and imagined how this once brilliant scientist had collapsed when he blindly sprinted toward a goal he neither refined nor questioned. On the day of the meeting, Alex presented his strategy to the company board, while his manager complained about his lateness. The rest of the team was impressed by the thoughtful and polished plan. For the first time, Alex understood the kind of success that emerges from balance rather than blind speed. He left the meeting uncertain whether he would be rewarded or punished, but with a rare sense of calm. He had stuck to a path he believed in. He got home late and barely had time to rest before his phone rang. On the other end, Daniel's voice shook with relief. His brother had escaped the crushing debt thanks, in large part, to Alex's help. A sense of tranquility washed over Alex. He remembered how he'd nearly hoarded his savings to chase swift success with his project, until those words he had heard on the street reminded him that some things are more important than sprinting toward personal goals. He lay by the window and watched the lights of the city stretch skyward. His mind wandered back to the nights he spent searching for that homeless man, asking everyone about him to no avail. Who could he have been? Possibly Henry himself, or some reflection of him, or maybe just a sign from fate urging Alex to reevaluate his direction. The mystery was greater than any explanation Alex could come up with. Yet it gradually quelled his fears, revealing a core truth. There's nothing wrong with moving slowly toward a worthy goal, so long as you know the destination deserves it. By week's end, Alex received a message from his company congratulating him on his meticulous work and offering him a notable promotion. He felt it proved that deliberate, mindful action earned trust in ways frantic speed never could. Confident in his job status, he renewed his commitment to his dream project, this time not just to compete, but to fulfill a genuine passion. He passed once more by the place he'd met the homeless man, hoping to see him again, even for a second, to express his gratitude. The streetlights were dimming little by little, the night swallowing the street in a heavy silence. He scanned every corner for a distant silhouette. Nothing. He sensed that some things in life come and go like a strange flash, yet leave behind a lesson far more valuable than any constant presence could. That phrase from that frigid night became a motto Alex repeated whenever chaos and haste threatened to overwhelm him. Your direction is more important than your speed. It no longer mattered if he was the fastest at reaching any finish line, as long as he understood whether he was on the right road. His life now stood as a small testament to that principle, showing how crucial it is to pace oneself when necessary, rather than run headlong and lose the path. The homeless man never reappeared in Alex's life, but his influence remained, a spirit guiding each step. With every new accomplishment or careful decision, Alex recalled the mysterious look in that man's eyes, the one who vanished into the darkness after saving him from doubts that might never have been resolved without a single statement on a biting cold night. Moral of the story: Alex learned not to judge success or failure by how quickly he reached his goals, but by whether he truly understood and followed the right path. We often fall for the illusion of being the fastest, forgetting to ask the real question: where are we actually headed? This is the moment of inner confrontation that shows us how overcoming smaller hurdles at a measured pace is far better than a headlong rush toward an unclear prize. When we guide ourselves by genuine values and a clear sense of purpose, we can see what truly matters and what does not. In forging harmony between time's pace and our deeper goals, we may slow down in our steps, yet remain steadfast on the path that truly counts.